Hello, artists. My artists that are learners at home, welcome. We are going to make sunflowers today. Sunflowers are just such a wonderful part of fall. They still remind me of the sunshine of flower because they're so big and bright and yellow. You might have seen sunflowers before, or you might grow them yourself at home. Someone you love might have them in the yard or a garden. We are going to talk about sunflowers really quick and about our artist for this lesson. The artist that's inspiring us for this lesson is Vincent van Gogh. He is a very famous artist, and you might know him from his artwork Starry Night. He's also known for having lots of texture and movement in his artwork. If you look closely at this artwork, you can see all the lines of his brushstrokes. It kind of looks a little bit like if we were to touch it, it might feel bumpy. Of course, we're not going to touch it because we respect others' artwork, but if we were going to, it could feel a certain way. So we want to think a little bit about texture for our art lesson because he's inspiring us not only for his beautiful sunflower paintings that he's done, because of how he shows texture in his artwork. Here he's painted multiple sunflowers. He's painted more than just these two paintings, but these are the ones I'm going to show you today. As you can see, he has his brush strokes again. He shows all the different types of bent and curves of the petals of the sunflower. Let's look at a sunflower up close ourselves and see what textures and shapes we can find. Sunflowers, they grow really tall to reach the sun, and they kind of look like the sun themselves. If we look closely, they have bright yellow petals. But my artists, are the petals only one kind of yellow? When we look at our sunflowers at first, they might seem like one kind of yellow, but if we look closely, because as artists need to look close, we can tell that there's maybe a little bit of orange or darker yellows in our petals. Our petals also look like they feel smooth, and they kind of have a specific shape, the petals. They almost look like a raindrop because of the point at the tip of the petals. So when we make our petals today, maybe think about the point that's at the very tip of the petal. There's also lots of petals, and the petals seem to have lines on them or folds. So think about if you want to add that to your petals today. All right, artists, let's get making our sunflower masterpieces. Now that you kind of know about our artist, and now that you kind of know about what we need to see in a sunflower, what we need to think about when we make our own sunflowers. All right, my artists, so this is a paper plate. You're gonna need one for this lesson. I have another, just in case I make an oops. You can get the tiny plates or the big plates. The size is up to you. Maybe you already have paper plates laying around at home, and then therefore this is a great thing to just grab with what you have. I have some pencils and erasers here I'm going to use. And I personally have a Sharpie. Sharpies are permanent, and so they do not erase, but I'm going to use it just so you can see what I'm doing, because sometimes it's a little tricky on this. So I want to make 9 dots evenly, the best I can. It doesn't have to be perfect, around my paper plate. So I usually start at the top, 1, and the bottom, 2, and then I start to fill these in. So I have 1, 2, 3. If I have to measure my finger to try to get perfect-ish amount, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, my artists, so I found my 9 dots. They're spaced out fairly evenly. They don't have to be perfect, but the best I can. And then from the middle, between my 2 dots, I'm going to just go down, not actually draw a line, just pretend. And then where I have the circle of my plate, this inside here, I'm going to just make a little mark. Do that all the way around. Wonderful. And now I'm going to do some connect the dots. I'm going to take my bottom dot and I'm going to have you watch me first. I'm going to curve up to the top point, and then the other dot in the middle down by my circle, I'm going to curve up and point to make my petals. I'm going to do that on the other side. I'm going to curve up from the dot and go to the point. And then curve up from the other dot to the point. They're reaching up, they're holding hands. All my sides are connecting. And I'm just going to do this the whole way around. Make sure to count in the end that you have 9 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, perfect. All right, my artists, now for our second step, you are going to take your scissors and you are going to cut around your flower. Make sure when you cut, your thumb is always sticking up and your scissors are always pointed away from yourself. When you cut out your flower, you're going to cut from the outside in, and I'm not going to try to turn it because I'll end up pointing towards myself. I'm going to use this hand here to help me turn the paper. I'm going to use this hand here to help me turn the paper. And when I get here, I'm also going to turn my paper and cut the other side out. You're going to do this for the whole outside of your flower. Now, before we get going on coloring, we want to make sure that we make a dot in the middle, not the middle, of our flower. You're going to cut out that dot. To do that safely, I don't want you to stab your scissors through. You're actually going to very gently fold your paper plate in half. Take your scissors and you're actually going to very carefully cut around that dot out a little triangle. If you need a loved one to help you with this, that is a-okay, and you'll have a dot in the middle of your flower. You won't have these Sharpie lines on yours because you'll use pencil. Again, I just did that to show you. I'm going to use crayons to color my sunflower. This is now time for that sunflower fun. Remember, sunflowers aren't just one kind of yellow. I personally found some orange and brown. You are going to color your sunflower in. Maybe you have lighter yellows or darker yellows. Maybe you could mix and overlap your orange and your yellow to make your sunflower. I saw that the inside of my flower was brown, so I grabbed some brown. Completely up to you. Just try to make it as realistic as you can. If you have to go back and look at the sunflower image I shared with you in this video, that is a-okay. I'm going to get to color in, and then I'm going to show you what to do next. my artist, I have colored in my sunflower. Oh, it's so cute. Mine's so tiny. You can make bigger one though. You could make big ones and tiny ones to go together, like they're a family or that they're friends. Maybe they have a buddy. So feel free to make more than one. That would be just so fantastic. My artist, the next thing we're going to do is, and you might have noticed I didn't think too much about the inside of my sunflower. That's because we're going to actually do something called weaving in the center of it. That will be for our next video, and next time that you will see me in our virtual art room, because artists, that would be a lot of work for you to do here in my artist at the school. Right now, personally are taking 2 days to do this. So rest those fingers and I will bring the weaving part of our lesson to you soon. Thank you, artists. Have a good one.